to making a highly anticipated album that rivals the most famous album, to breaking up the band because of it. Here is the true story of MCR5, aka The Paper Kingdom. If you have not followed me on TikTok, I have been talking about this album for months, and I've gotten viral because of me talking about The Paper Kingdom. MCR5 is real. I have been researching MCR5 for months. I have gotten viral on TikTok because of it, and I've discovered a lot of truths about The Paper Kingdom that nobody has even talked about yet. I haven't even saw anybody talk about this yet, so I'm about to talk about it right now in this video. The Black Parade, MCR's major album that sold most than any other of their albums. It was a pretty dark album about a cancer patient dying. They had a total of 4 official albums: I Brought You My Bullets, You Brought Me Your Love, 3 Cheers for Sweet Revenge, The Black Parade, Conventional Weapons, Danger Days, The True Lives of the Fabulous Killjoy. Wait a second. Those are 5 albums. I said 4, right? Yes, I said 4 albums. But technically, there was 5 albums that got recorded before The Paper Kingdom. The 5th one was Danger Days, but the 4th one is called Conventional Weapons. Now let's go back in time to 2009. This album was supposed to bring My Chemical Romance back into their roots. They didn't have no themes, no costumes, no nothing. It was just the band performing the songs. Just like back in their Bullets era, they had no costumes. It was supposed to be like that. And Bob Ryer, you know, the racist one in the whole band, the drummer, yeah, he loved the idea of recording the album without no themes. He loved it. And while they were recording that album in 2009, Gerard Way decided to go on a desert trip. And then he came back with the idea of the Killjoys, the theme. But Bob Ryer did not like that at all. To the point where he literally refused to record the album. He literally refused to record the Killjoys album, you know, Danger Days. And then he left the band. Well, I'm pretty sure he got kicked out, but he just didn't want to even do the album at all. And then he started to spiral out of control by being really sexist, being really racist, and being all this types of stuff that can basically consider him to be a bad guy. Which I really have nothing to say about that. So why am I mentioning Conventional Weapons? Well, Conventional Weapons was supposed to be MCR's original 4th album, but they scrapped it. But the story is that a group of old friends getting together and taking a surreal road trip across the country of America and discovering what America really was. The world is ugly, you know, all that stuff. But they didn't release it. They didn't even release it back in 2009 when it was recorded. They actually released it in 2013, the exact year that the band broke up. And they released it as EPs, not as in a official album. They just released it as EPs. And I'm mentioning that also because I have a theory on how it was released, and it could be potentially linked to The Paper Kingdom. Let's travel to the time of 2012, the year that The Paper Kingdom was being recorded. They were making The Paper Kingdom because of how Danger Days turned out. The sales were way less than The Black Parade, and it was in a different tone than The Black Parade, so that's why the sales were like that. And so they decided to make an album that was going to be similar to the Black Parade, but it was also going to be rivaling The Black Parade because it was going to be more darker than any other albums combined. But word on the streets say that the production of The Paper Kingdom was really bad. Not bad as in like they couldn't do their work done, but it was bad as in their mental health was declining. Word on the streets say that the MCR members only communicating with each other only through business. business related stuff instead of like actually having fun, which I don't know if that's true or not. I'm not exactly sure. I'm not trying to spread misinformation, but that's what I keep hearing. Also, word on the streets say that Gerard Way was also getting back his addictions, like his alcohol addictions, smoking, all that type of stuff, because not only that he was working with a dark album, but he also makes the majority of the lyrics. He always gets into the act of the characters in the songs. He always plays the characters, and he always does like method type acting, which means that he truly feels the pain and suffering of the characters that he writes about in the songs. And let me explain to you the story of what the Paper Kingdom is the concept about. So the Paper Kingdom was supposed to be this concept about a support group of parents who had their children die in horrible ways, and then they make up in their minds that their children is trapped in the forest by a witch with magical powers.
And I started to work on a record that was a concept record about a group of parents in a support group because they had all lost their children in a horrible way. And that was supposed to be the last record. And that's not a story I wanted to tell. And the songs reflected that, you could hear it. And all the joy, it was gone.
And that is basically the concept of it. And when you think about it, Gerard Way is playing in the act of these characters. He always does that with all of his stories, of his albums. And plus, he also has a kid of his own named Bandit Way, his daughter. Which means that he has to play in the character of the parents who had lost their children. Which is pretty crazy to me because, of course, that's why Gerard Way was declining in his mental health. And the only way that he could ever escape that is by literally breaking up the band. He literally had everything planned out for the Paper Kingdom, including like actual costumes for the album, which I really want to see that. He also recorded at least 6 or more songs of the Paper Kingdom. He possibly had 6 or more songs completed. It was supposed to be a full-length album with 14 songs. So 6 or more completed songs sounds like a dream. And actually, in a page of a magazine, somebody actually listened to 4 songs of the 6 completed songs of the Paper Kingdom. And I was like, what? I really want to be that guy. Unfortunately, I would love to read out what it says in the magazine, but it's way too blurry for me to even look at it and to read it. I tried to look for other photos of the magazine page, but it's just the same photo. It's too blurry. And when I try to find the magazine online, it costs like hundreds of dollars. I'm not going to buy that. But I've tracked down a couple of articles that actually spoke about what it actually says in the magazine, and it says that it's incredible. It's a slightly new territory. It's an evolution. I've heard 4 new songs. It's exactly in line of what my Chem fans will be thrilled to hear. But at the same time, it really marks what I think is a new phase for the band. It's super refreshing, but at the same time, familiar in the way you want it to be. Which, that exactly says that it's very familiar with what my Chem fans want it to be, which they loved the Black Parade era. They love 3 Cheers, you know. It's very familiar. The new band has a very familiar theme and tone. So, as you can tell, My Chemical Romance was trying to go back into that way of having that familiar feeling with like the Black Parade. But of course, everything good has to come to an end. And so, Gerard Way broke up the band. And then they all went on their separate ways, going onto their solo projects, like with Gerard Way with his own solo project, Hesitant Alien, with like Frank Iero going to his solo projects, with all that type of stuff, you know what I'm saying? But until back in 2024, when everything got leaked. Wait a second. No. It didn't got leaked last year. Hell no. It was leaked back in like 2022. Let me explain. Well, we all know that infamous Excalibur guy who was leaking the MCR songs as samples and all that type of stuff, who was the one who leaked the full Witch song. Well, I'm about to tell you the actual full story that I've gotten from my independent research, from other sources, and I've summarized everything that I've put in my notes. And I know that that sounds sketchy from me saying I've got it from other sources, but really, I cannot tell you which source that I've got this from. Because if I did, then I don't know what would happen. So you could definitely find the hints from what I'm about to tell you right now. I've summarized everything, and I've got it to the point where I can say everything, and you can actually understand it a lot better than what other people think that they might have. By the way, for this part of the video, there's going to be no music. There's going to be no background video. This will be completely silent, and I will be only talking in vocals. The reason why is because I think that this story is really serious. Nobody has this story, and I'm about to make a claim that I think is kind of serious. So, I hope you enjoy of what I'm about to say. So here it goes. The man behind Excalibur account in the leaked website was selling the songs as a middleman. He wasn't the one who originally had the songs, and he wasn't actually Excalibur. He was selling it as a middleman, which means that someone in the higher ups was actually Excalibur, who was the one putting out the samples and was getting the money from the songs, not the middleman. So, what does that mean? Well, Excalibur might be a person who is related to the production of the Paper Kingdom. Well, the producer of the Paper Kingdom, I heard that he died. He passed away. Which means that someone else has got the estate of the producer and started to sell the songs? Maybe. That could happen. But who knows? There's maybe more people that was involved with the production that is actually selling the songs. Who knows? That's just a little theory. I got more. And just so you know, the middleman didn't have the songs. And the songs were leaked as samples in 2022. Excalibur was offering the Paper Kingdom back around 2020. And he was also offering the Foundations of Decay sessions on the website around 2022. That means that he is involved with the production. He was involved with the production. The higher up was involved with the production, and he was selling it through a guy, who was working with him as a middleman. He was selling it through a middleman person. But the real Excalibur was getting the songs sold to multiple people, which means that more people had the songs or song. The prices were too high for someone to buy all the songs because the real Excalibur was selling each song for like over $10,000. And each buyer didn't like that he was selling the song to multiple people. So the buyers started to leak the full song as retaliation. And that song is called Witch. Which you can find the whole song on Reddit. I have it downloaded. It's a really good song. Anyways, I got more. One buyer named Aang purchased from Excalibur for around $10,000 to $15,000, plus another buyer named Adam and another user purchased from Aang around $10,000. But they split 5K to 5K to buy from Aang. Adam was selling it not as a middleman. He was selling it on his own. But he was also double selling. And he was outed. But before that, he sold to another well-known buyer called Doug. And Doug actually bought the whole album, and he was contemplating on leaking the whole album, but he didn't do it. Damn. I really wanted it to do it. Like, honestly, I really wanted to have all the songs. Just imagine the Paper Kingdom songs. That would be such heaven. And then Warner Brothers, the record label of My Chemical Romance at the time of the Paper Kingdom was being made, had gotten word of this after years of people selling and buying the album behind the scenes. And Warner Brothers got straight up their asses, and then we never got to see the rest of the album. So that's why we only got to see the full song of Witch, a snippet of Dark Cloud, a snippet of Wake Up. Like, I think it was like 2 snippets of Wake Up and a snippet of the Foundations of Decay. I'm pretty sure that's all the snippets. Like the snippets of the demo of the Foundations of Decay. That's what I should have said. We only got all those, and it turns out multiple people had the full album, but they never leaked it. The full song of Witch got leaked, and then the rest of the songs that got leaked were leaked as snippets. And as so you know, Warner Brothers got straight up their asses to the point where we never heard from them again. We never heard from them again since last year. So you might be thinking now, is the Paper Kingdom done? We will never hear any more of the Paper Kingdom songs? Wrong. Because this year, just recently, My Chemical Romance on their tour Long Live the Black Parade, they actually performed an actual unreleased The Paper Kingdom song. And this song wasn't actually leaked. It's called War Beneath the Rain.
Studio in North Hollywood, and we were making a record that never came out, and this is one of the songs we really love from it. And it was just us in the studio with our friend Dev McKean. He was there recording it. His family's here tonight. I want this to go out to them. The song is called The War Beneath the Rain. We all learn to die. We're not with before we learn. We don't care about all the birthdays like before.
My Chemical Romance played that song multiple times in a Long Live the Black Parade tour as a tribute to one of the producers that was working on The Paper Kingdom before he died. And also, Gerard Way accidentally said that he was going to go to a studio while he was talking about War Beneath the Rain. And he said that in a couple of more shows after he played War Beneath the Rain with My Chemical Romance, which means that they might be working on War Beneath the Rain, or possibly just The Paper Kingdom. They might be working on the Paper Kingdom behind the scenes, because Gerard Way accidentally leaked it. And he was like beep, boop boop boop, like a robot, you know what I'm saying? So now this video is way too long. It's about to crash my phone when I go to export it. So now I will talk about the theories that I have, that I personally think that will most likely happen with the Paper Kingdom. Either one, the Paper Kingdom will release as EPs, just like conventional weapons. That's why I mentioned conventional weapons. I think that the Paper Kingdom is going to be released in multiple EPs, and I think that because, you know, conventional weapons was scrapped in 2009, but they released it after when the band broke up. I'm pretty sure after the band broke up, maybe before the band broke up, but they released it in 2013, literally the year that the band broke up, and they released it as EPs. Or two, they will be making War Beneath the Rain, like reworking War Beneath the Rain, because they actually loved it and they played it live in Long Live the Black Beret tour. So they might be reworking that song and will be releasing it. I don't know about the other songs. They might release the other songs. Gerard Way actually said in one interview that he's gonna like release the Paper Kingdom in some way, shape, or form. Hopefully in the songs, because Gerard Way was literally making the Paper Kingdom as a song album, so he'll most likely release it as the songs. And it looks like that because he literally played it live. My Chemical Romance played it live, and all this stuff happened. And yeah, he was teasing it back in 2020. Back in 2020, My Chemical Romance YouTube video actually uploaded a video of like a sigil type like video. It was like flashing sigils of witch sigils, like it was like witch symbols, and the audio was literally a snippet from witch. I don't know if I can show it here on this video, but you can literally easily find it. Just search up MCR witch sigil video and you can actually find it. It's a black and white sigil video that has like flashing symbols, you know, flashing sigils, witch sigils. You know, I don't know why they put that there. If they didn't want to release the Paper Kingdom, then why would they do that? They actually upload it on their official YouTube video. Like I don't like on their official YouTube channel. I don't get why they did that. If they didn't want to release the Paper Kingdom, then this is breaking my mind, you know. Please release the Paper Kingdom. Also, I forgot to mention that Excalibur also leaked the full set list of the Paper Kingdom, and War Beneath the Rain was one of them, including Witch, including Dark Cloud, including Wake Up. Yeah, I forgot to mention that. I don't know why I forgot to mention that, but I'm going to put it. I'm going to put it here. And also, I forgot to mention that My Chemical Romance actually released one of the songs that was supposed to be in the Paper Kingdom. They actually released it officially in their compilation album that came out in 2014. I'm pretty sure it was 2014 after the breakup. It's called, like, the album is called May Death Will Never Stop You, and the song is called Fake Your Death. Yeah, that song. That song was supposed to be included in the Paper Kingdom. Yeah, I know. Surprising. So, I think I covered everything in this video. If I missed anything, then let me know. If I got anything wrong, then let me know. Okay? And wow, this is such a long video. It's such a study video. It's a video study. Like, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like. Honestly, leave a like. Honestly, I've been working on this for I don't know how long. So, yeah, I hope you find this information useful for you to put into your MCR lore. Make sure to check the comments to see if anybody is correcting me. And then I hope you all will have an awesome day. See you later. I guess.